Happy Thursday, Hot Micers. It is the Hot Mic. We are back again this week. Talk about everything that is fit and not fit to print in the world of entertainment. I am the Outlaw John Rocha, joined as always by the Sneider over there. Jeff Sneider, how are you feeling?
A little beaten down from the sun. You know, John, I was at the beach all day. It takes a lot out of you, especially when you don't have any hair. But I'm getting a second wind.
Yeah, oh, good. That means you're ready for the show, and I get it, lying out in the sun. It does say, especially for you white people, it is not easy. It certainly sucks up your energy right out of you. With us, it browns us out. We look really, we got nothing but happiness going on, but I can see how it exhausts some of you all. But yeah, we're going to get into so many things going on in the world of entertainment. Please make sure you remember that the Streamlabs and SuperChats are open. You see the Streamlabs right above Jeff's head, and I'm going to pin it in the chat in just a second. And we're going to get into all things going on. And the way the show works is Jeff and I, we kind of agree on a rundown, not necessarily the order, but we agree on a rundown, and then we just kind of pick and choose what topics we want to talk about, taking turns. That's kind of how it goes. So, but we're going to start off right off the bat with something that we've been talking about for a few weeks now. We've got even more updates on it, and that's the Ezra Miller situation. There's been more information on this that has come out here, Jeff. Variety did a massive article going into what happened there in Iceland, going into what happened in Germany, going into what happened in Hawaii. So there's a lot, and people are speaking on the record here who have not spoken about things for quite some time, especially the young woman who was attacked and choked by Ezra Miller, speaking out for the first time about them and speaking her truth about them. And then another girl who only gives her first name, Nadia, she speaks about her experience with them as well that stretch out over a few years. So this is a pattern of incidences that are happening, and people are starting to come out. Is this the buzzard circling the meat, or is this just kind of, this is the last wave, and then we're going to get the wave of Ezra Miller going to therapy and, you know, asking for forgiveness and going through all the PR stuff? What do you anticipate happening here? What do you think of this exhaustive article here from Variety?
Well, I look forward to answering all of this and talking about this, but we first must discuss your T-shirt.
Yes, trust a bro, son.
Trust a bro. What is that?
You didn't see Hawkeye? These are the guys. These are the bro movers in Hawkeye. It's trust a bro. That's what it is.
I'm not paying attention to
the Get on board.
I did like Hawkeye, but
okay, fair enough.
Fair enough. Ezra Miller. What to say about this person?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I mean, my answer hasn't changed as far as, is this going to affect anything?
Right.
Which is, as of now, no. And I think that both Variety and the people talking to Variety, which is, the head of Corpcom at Warner Brothers or whoever,
right.
They're pretty firm in this movie is going theatrical.
Yeah.
Not going to get dumped on HBO Max. It's too expensive to do that. Mm-hmm. Okay. It needs a theatrical run, and that they are the star. Yeah. They're in almost every scene. They're not being swapped out of the movie.
No.
Does this affect his career after this movie? Yes, I think it does.
Okay.
You don't see them signing on to a bunch of other movies that you'd think that something like The Flash or Fantastic Beasts, they would open the door, they'd allow you to do some smaller, indie projects, an A24 movie, whatever it is. You don't see them being flooded with those kinds of offers. Did you hear about the other story that emerged in the last couple of days?
No, what's this one? Is it the Germany one, or is this the one with the mom and the gun?
This is Tokyo.
Okay, go ahead, please. Tokyo.
He's like an international. They're like an international terrorist. Popping up all over the globe. No, this story, and I don't know its legitimacy or not.
Okay,
but it was that they got into a bar fight with Elvis. They got into a bar fight with Austin Butler in Tokyo.
Oh, with Austin Butler. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yes.
I thought you meant something crazy.
No.
Oh, wow.
No. Like Austin Butler and some friends were at a bar in Tokyo.
Wow.
Ezra came in, said something. There were some words exchanged, and Austin Butler punched them in the face.
Wow.
And then Ezra and their friends were removed.
Really?
I don't know if that's true or legitimate. Like I have a hard time believing seeing Austin Butler like punching someone. He seems like a kind of mellow, even keeled guy. But with the way Ezra's been behaving lately, who knows?
Yeah.
So there's that story, and then you're right. There's the big variety story in which they looked into that video that had emerged a while back of the woman being choked, and they actually got her on the record and everything. And it's Ezra clearly has some demons. I think we've seen stuff like this before. Doesn't sound like there's much like there's no adult in the room. There's no agent who's like trying to get them, under wraps, or you just don't see them surrounded by this circle of people who you'd think that these A-listers would have, whether they're enablers or people, who are like their own salaries and livelihoods are depending on Ezra Miller being successful and stuff. Anyways, they did say that Ezra was not going to comment on these recent rounds of allegations because they are committed to private healing or whatever. So I think you are going to start to see those seeds planted for the rehab thing, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but does this, Jeff, you say this, they're going to release it. Certainly the article says that Warner Brothers, it's too much money for them to reshoot it because they're in every scene. It's too much money to just put it on HBO Max to lose all that money. But aren't we running into an X-Men Dark Phoenix situation where people know this is a dead fish in the water? So whatever money was going to be made will be impacted anyway, even if they don't do anything.
Why is this a dead fish in the water?
Huh?
Why is this a dead fish in the water? People won't show up?
Yeah, I'm wondering if less people will show up because of this situation, because there are people who think patriotic movie like this, when this person is the lead, is a negative, and so they might not show up.
But that enters decision making. Like on Friday night, your girl, I'd love to go see The Flash. She doesn't know nothing about Ezra Miller.
Okay,
and her boyfriend's going to say, I don't know. Did you see he was arrested all over the globe for this and that? I don't think I want to see that movie. You either want to see it or you don't.
Fine. I think the reverse is true, where you may want to go and your girlfriend is like, oh, hell no, I've read up on all this shit. We are not going to go see that movie. So that's a possibility. I hear you.
No, I don't think that would enter into anyone's boy, girl, whoever. I don't think that enters into decision making.
Really? Okay.
No, they either want to see The Flash and Michael Keaton as Batman and Ben Affleck as Batman, everything happening with the DC multiverse and stuff like that, or they don't. Who is not going to see this movie because Ezra Miller choked someone in Iceland 2 years ago?
I think there are people who won't, maybe not to the numbers that will affect the overall box office, but there's possibilities here. And look, if Michael Keaton was not in this movie, I think it would absolutely crater. I 100% believe that people wouldn't go see it because it looks like DC has the greatest track record. Yes, Joker's done well. Aquaman made $1 billion. Wonder Woman, the first one, was received well. But, there are still questions. There are still issues here. And there's a lot of drama around with stuff with Amber Heard. There's just a lot of drama going on here with DC people. So you start to wonder if this is becoming a vetting process error done by the people in charge over at WB, because you rarely hear this.
What is this vetting process that people think that there is? They put them in front of a camera, and if you can act, you get the part.
Are you insane? It is not that simple. Isn't it a fucking black box production at a high school? This is fucking a lot of money.
What was supposed to pop up when they vetted him years ago for Justice League? What was?
No, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. This stuff now.
Once you're in the door, then that's it. I mean, there's no vetting after you get the job.
Yeah, but once you start these, and look, like you just pointed out, these incidents are happening all over the world. This is a pattern of stuff that is a little, but I think one of the positives, if there is any, is that all these incidents are happening in the past, right? These aren't current things that are happening. These are months ago or years ago, these incidents and these situations. So if they are healing and in the process of healing and hopefully being hidden out somewhere to heal, at some point, though, there's going to have to, if people start to poke holes in the therapy thing and the recovery thing and all of that, people aren't going to come back and watch their movies. There are way too many other stars. Ezra Miller is not Tom Cruise. There are millions of other young actors that
they're the Flash. They're not selling Ezra Miller. They're selling the Flash.
Yeah, anybody can be in the Flash suit. So that's the thing.
And maybe someone will 4 or 5 years down the line when they make the Flash sequel or whatever. But I don't understand. Like, For
I'd
now,
say 2 years.
they're the Flash. Like
For now, they're the Flash. Yeah, but I mean, is there anything that could come out that you think that would stop this once and for all? Like that, if he murdered somebody, would that be enough?
Sure. Yeah. But like,
we're not that far away. The anger from the stories seems pretty vitriolic and toxic. It's not a hard imagining to
seems
see.
like a
the
person
choking of the girl.
Seems like a person with a drug or alcohol problem.
Fair enough. All right, we shall see. All right, what do you want to talk about? That's what I started with. Oh wait, we've got a super chat. Sorry, Mike Joy says, "What'd you two think of Paramount Plus's masterpiece that was Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe?" Now, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, there's not a chance John Rocha has seen that movie.
No,
I saw it.
Okay.
I liked it. It was clever.
Okay.
It's the same Beavis and Butthead. Like, if you're not laughing at Beavis and Butthead in the mid '90s, you're not going to find this stuff funny either.
Okay.
But it was clever the way that they brought them into 22 and had them, constantly. Like, what's funny is that these two are obsessed with sex, but they're virgins.
Right. Like most of the people obsessed with sex.
Right. Exactly. I don't know. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Guilty pleasure.
Is it better than they do America, or is it not better? Is that just one of those?
I mean, it's about the same.
Okay.
I might have preferred Do America, but I was also 12 years old when that came out.
I did go see that in the theaters. I enjoyed that with it. I did watch Beavis and Butthead growing up for the music videos more than anything else. Micah says, "Why didn't WB hire a handler?" Maybe they did.
A handler is hired when someone's on set and you're trying to get them through the production. Like, they can't have a babysitter with this kid for the next year.
Yeah.
That's
more sports. Sports teams do that more than studios do that, I think, having handlers there, because it's usually a member of their entourage.
Yeah, but you are right in that the whole situation seems like it could have been handled much better.
Yeah, for sure. All right, 2 Streamlabs already that have come through. Nancy Mallory says, "What are your favorite and least favorite films of the year so far?" Jeff, strong question.
Favorite and least favorite? Well, first of all, guys, you can always find out via the insnider.blogspot.com. I know you're like, Jeff, why are you still on Blogspot? It's just what works for me, guys.
He's also on AOL. He still has an AOL account.
I do have an AOL address. I mean, the top 3 are Top Gun Maverick, Cha-Cha Real Smooth, and X. I thought X from Ty West was just really fun as a horror movie. And then The Northman is also available on VOD. As for the stuff that you should avoid, Lena Dunham's movie Sharp Stick was bad. The Karen Gillan movie Duel, bad. Really? Firestarter, bad.
Yeah, Firestarter is the number one disappointment for me. I was hoping that would be a great version of it with Zac Efron coming into the mix as well. We've quietly been cheering for it because every once in a while I've enjoyed his stuff. But yeah, that's the one that I think is the worst one I've seen so far. Number 1 is tough. I think Top Gun Maverick is probably number 1 right now, but Elvis is giving a run for its money on my end, so I'm going to go see that again in Screen X.
Should we just talk about Elvis?
Oh, sure. We can parlay into Elvis right now.
If we're being asked about what the best movies are, why not? Let's talk about Elvis.
Bring it on. Bring it on, man.
I thought it was good, but I thought it could have been better. Oh, I did. I thought it was a little by the numbers.
What? Are you fucking insane? Where is it by the numbers? Where? Explain to me where it's by the numbers.
I very much agreed with our critic who felt like Baz thought that Elvis was so well known that he didn't have to, like, he can just hit this and move on, hit this, move on, hit this, move on. And it doesn't go into depth about it's just kind of skims over the surface. I thought it was way too long. I thought you could have cut 20 minutes out easily.
Wow.
He was great, Austin Butler.
Yes.
Hanks was good, better than I was expecting, but at the same, it's a weird performance.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed Austin Butler, and I said this is a star-making turn. I think we're going to start seeing his name more and more for all the projects that are out there.
Yes.
Don't be surprised. Marvel, DC will come crawling. That guy is good looking and he's young and he's been in business for a while. I mean, go back and look at his resume. Yep. He's a child actor who has made the jump, or young adult actors made the jump now with this film into being taken more seriously. And that happens. And so more power to him. I hope he gets nominated for Best Actor. I voted for him in our Hollywood Critics Association mid-season awards for sure. I like Tom Hanks. I think he did a good job once you got past the accent. In the first few minutes, you just kind of understand he's playing this character like this. And so, okay, fine, let's go with it. But there's still the performances there. He's laying groundwork. He's got levels with this guy that you see in certain interactions with Elvis, interactions with Hank Snow, interactions with Lisa Marie, interactions with Vernon. He's got a Machiavellian approach to things. And so he's a great villain for the movie. I think visually he captured why Elvis is still resonant all these years later. And yeah, maybe he didn't explain every little thing that certain people of a younger generation might need to feel or might need to have explained to them. But you get the gist that this guy came from a poor town, was constantly berated for his look, following his own passion, following his own compass, got into situations, fought back, rebelled, was an outlaw at times, then got forced by the government and these racist people to go into the army, comes out and has to go into Hollywood, reclaims his throne there after the Beatles have kind of taken him out, and then boom, falls into this tragedy. So there's a lot here that I think that you can savor and enjoy. And you're right. Maybe as someone who's a deep fan of Elvis and knows just about everything there is about Elvis, I've got two of the bios right behind me there. I knew everything he was going through. My argument is more a matter of, because I thought it's 2 hours, 40 minutes. It flew by, and there's a 4-hour cut, and I want to see the 4-hour cut for the reasons Jeff just pointed out. Let's take our time. Let's explore the 50s, explore the 60s, explore the 70s a bit more. I would have liked to have seen that.
I thought the movie got a lot better in its second half.
Mm-hmm.
Once it settled down a little bit.
Yeah.
I thought it could have done a lot more with like the romantic stuff. I thought that his relationship with Priscilla was quite shortchanged.
Yeah, agreed.
So, there were some flaws I just could not ignore, but the last 5 minutes of this movie with Unchained Melody, that's when the movie came to life. And that, to me, I mean, it like almost hammered home that this movie should have been better. Because those 5 minutes were just like, this is the level this movie should have been on the whole time.
But I'm going to give you a twist on that and say the reason that moment worked is because of everything Baz did in that movie to lead you to that moment. So you felt like you really did know this guy before he sings that Unchained Melody. So I feel like he got the job done, maybe not quite to the level that you were hoping, but I think he still got the job done at that
point. Put it this way, the job of a filmmaker is to get me to leave the theater feeling something, and he accomplished that in the last 5 minutes.
It's true.
Before those last 5 minutes, I felt like he had kind of not really hit the full potential of this movie, and then it saved it. But Variety, I thought Owen Gleiberman did a really good column just about like the movie could have been more Baz. It could have stood to have been even more Baz Luhrmann-ish.
You see, and I'm on the other side where I'm glad he didn't indulge in the Moulin Rouge fucking Great Gatsby shit. I like that he mixed a little bit of his stuff with a little more of a straight-laced approach to this, because it's Elvis. You don't want to fuck with Elvis. That's Bubba Hotep. You want to fuck with Elvis. This is something else. And I think his sequences of the songs and the production value of those songs, I think he really nailed it. I mean, those Vegas scenes, you understand why people came in droves to see him in Vegas. And I do find it fascinating that I've read some reviews from critics in their late 30s and 40s who still wear superhero t-shirts complaining that Elvis was trying to reclaim his youth and it was comical to see him in Vegas. I'm like, what the fuck do you think you're doing wearing that superhero t-shirt at over 40 years old? Those are to be aware of yourself if you're going to criticize something. Be aware of yourself if you're going to look at these things. Maybe I'm just an ardent defender of Elvis.
Self-awareness.
But if we can reappraise the fucking prequels, we can reappraise Elvis Presley in the 1970s. I want to put that out there. And I think the movie does that. As you said, the back half of the film, I think there's more to explore in the 1970s. There's more tragedy with him losing Lisa Marie, losing Priscilla. And you're right, Jeff. They didn't do enough with the love life, either with Priscilla or outside of Priscilla, because there were other women in Elvis's lives. And I found out yesterday that they had a very strong hand in Baz's approach to how the love lives were portrayed. Because Anne Margaret is not in the movie at all, and she was a massive part of Elvis in the 1960s. So
this is the problem with letting any family member get too close to the biopic and any of that stuff. I would, if a family member came out and said, I hate this movie. It got everything wrong. That's the movie I want to see. When the family is like, this is everything we wanted, you're like, okay.
Yeah. That's why I didn't watch the J-Lo documentary. I've told you before. If you executive produce your own documentary, I don't believe a fucking thing in it. I just don't.
It was my biggest criticism with The Last Dance, which is a masterpiece.
Oh, yeah, I agree. It should not have had Jordan anywhere near.
Even better. Yeah, if he was involved.
I agree.
Let's talk about this Howard Stern rumor.
Let's do it. What is this crap? How are they? Is this, you believe this hot mic stuff? To tell the people.
I don't know. Seems a little convenient.
Yes.
For the hot mic to be on, and like they're not just talking about like mundane shit. They're talking about Marvel rumors and stuff. Listen, I don't think he's like playing Doctor Doom. I don't know what the project is.
Don't be a Baz Luhrmann. Tell the people who might not know, who is it that was rumored to be playing Doctor Doom?
Howard Stern?
No, Howard. No, what? It was him playing Doctor Doom.
Who is Doctor Doom?
I thought it was Michael Shannon they were looking at for Doctor Doom.
Oh, I have no idea. I hadn't even seen that. Where was that?
Yeah, Doctor Doom MCU project mentioned by Howard Stern. Yeah, he casually commented on the nightmare of getting ready to be a part of Doctor Doom. He's not. Wait.
So where did Michael Shannon come from? That wasn't mentioned.
Okay, maybe not. All right. Sorry, go ahead. That's maybe my wishful thinking.
I'm just saying, I could see Howard Stern being involved in a project in which he has to do an interview with Doctor Doom, where he's playing himself, like, hey, we're live on air with Doctor Doom, blah 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 blah. Right. But yeah, it's not like he's going to be like the next big baddie of the Marvel universe. Give me a break.
Right. He'll be in it as a kind of, like you said, he'll be in it as an interview, or maybe he'll be like Mark Maron in the Joker movie, like just a small part being like the agent of the Robert De Niro character. So I think he was just making a mountain out of a molehill, Stern, as he's, smartly done for many, many years. But there's no way they're going to make Howard Stern play Doctor Doom. Nobody in the fucking world would believe him as Doctor Doom.
Yeah, that really did stretch the limits of credulity. He's, by the way, Private Parts is great, and he's one as an actor. He's excellent in the movie. He is 1 for 1.
Yeah,
but
like
Eminem. That's all he can do.
Just like Eminem and 8 Mile. Both of them deliver great performances in movies about themselves. Great. Can you do it outside of that? No.
Eminem's 2 for 2.
What's the second one?
Also in The Interview.
Oh, that's right. Oh, Jesus.
So yeah, Howard Stern I wouldn't put too much into that, other than maybe there's some kind of cameo. But like, what would the project be? Would it be an actual Doctor Doom show or thing, or?
Well, probably, right. I mean, they might see how Black Adam does as an anti-hero. If you're not going to introduce the Fantastic Four yet, you want to introduce Doctor Doom and kind of do a backdoor introduction of Fantastic Four. Could be interesting. I don't know if it's going to work, but it could be interesting because remember, he's the leader of a country. Things happened. He sees himself as the victim of the Fantastic Four, not a person who's a villain necessarily. He's trying to, because he sees the evil that the Fantastic Four in his mind did to him, and he doesn't want them to do that to other people. So if that's where they're going with, it could be a very interesting exploration. And Stern probably has a role as a scientist or interviewer or something.
I think Marvel is looking at DC and what DC did with Joker and may do again with Black Adam, and they're going to start to embrace their villain side.
Yeah.
Because that's also like what Thunderbolts is, kind of, right?
Yeah, right. Bring in because
that's exactly what's going to happen. Marvel's going to start to be like, all right, we've got some good villains. Let's see what we can do here.
They saw the Suicide Squad stuff. Yeah.
What's next on the list? You pick.
Let's talk about James Bond, man. There was a recent party that you and I were not invited to that happened in London to honor the Broccoli's there, Barbara Broccoli, and her brother Michael G. Wilson for their BFI fellowships. And they were asked about James Bond, and she said, Barbara Broccoli did, nobody's in the running. We're working out where to go with him. We're talking that through. There isn't a script, and we can't come up with one until we decide how we're going to approach the next film, because really it's a reinvention of Bond. We're reinventing who he is, and that takes time. I'd say that filming is at least 2 years away. Quite a lot of people were apparently pissed off about this on social media. Took to social media and said, it's ridiculous. We need to name the Bond right now. Daniel Craig's body is not even warm or not even cold yet, Jeff, from No Time to Die, which is out there now, I think, on Amazon Prime. So why would we want to rush the next James Bond? And isn't it a good thing that they're taking the temperature in 2022 of what the new James Bond will be, just like they did take the temperature before they named Daniel Craig and changed the perception of Bond and the direction of Bond by making him more of a one-woman man. Isn't this smart to take their time to figure out where the public winds are blowing on this?
I mean, yeah, I do think it's smart to take some time. You never want to rush anything. I was, who knows if they had rushed Danny Boyle's version,
Right.
It's never a good idea to rush. That said, this kind of reeks of like, I don't know, this corporate, like, now that Amazon owns MGM, like I need to sit down with Amazon and figure out how badly they want to mess with this creation.
Oh,
because it's like, I think
about that.
Broccoli and Wilson have been very reluctant to change, core elements of the character,
right?
Even though there has been a lot of outcry towards that. I think Amazon probably wants to sand off his edges a little bit, and I'm sure that Broccoli is, resisting that kind of change, but also not naive to the fact of, that we're in a new paradigm, a new age these days. So, but yeah, like a statement like that got me a little scared. It just sounds like Amazon's coming in. They're gonna, they have very specific ideas of what they want to do, and now I'm gonna have to talk to them and negotiate where we can find a place to meet in the middle.
Jesus,
don't
I hadn't even thought of it.
Yeah.
Well, there's also the rumors about them doing a prequel Bond or a Bond set during his formative years in England or in Scotland, wherever they're going to set it.
Right.
There are rumors about that. So do you think that they're trying to turn this into kind of a Marvel, Disney, Star Wars situation where it's all canon?
Yes.
It's all canon.
I mean, even though Bond is its own thing, I'm sure that when Amazon acquired MGM, that that was the golden goose, so to speak. Right. That's their grand prize, which cost them billions, and they're going to try to exploit that property up, down, and sideways. Even though Broccoli will do her best to not let that happen.
Right.
I imagine that they're going to go young. And again, like who do people really want Idris Elba? Like he's too old.
He's too old.
A lot of these guys are too old. Even someone like Tom Hardy, who I know Broccoli is a big fan of Tom Hardy, whether she wants to admit it or not. Seems too old.
I liked James Norton, who was in The Nevers and
James Norton
in Emma. There were a lot of rumors about him possibly being James Bond. I got to ask him about it in an interview I did that's on the channel if you guys ever want to see that. He's in the show Happy Valley, which was a big sensation in Britain. And apparently he'd been asked about a number of times. So I like him as a young guy. He's 36. Could possibly step in if they want to do it the next couple of years. But you might be right. I mean, they might be starting to look at some 20-year-olds, some British 20-year-olds to possibly slide in and play this character, or Scottish 20-year-olds, whatever you want to go towards. So you might be right. You might 100% be right, my man. So
I think it might be. Again, it might be time to have a Black Bond. I just don't know if it'll be like a big name or if it'll be like. I'm telling you, this guy's going to get something big soon. Sope Dirisu.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So MK Songbird says the same thing. Sope Dirisu or Andrew Koji.
I think Sope Dirisu is on the list.
Okay.
I think he's closer than people think. I'd like to I don't know, like.
Oh, the guy from Gangs of London. Yeah, I like Sope. He's great. Holy shit.
Yeah, I don't know. But I think it is probably a couple years away. And they should have a script and an idea of like, well, what do we want this story to be that we're telling? And then let's find the right guy to star in that. Not let's find the guy first because, no one's, because the role is available right now.
Right.
And then we'll find a story to tailor it around him. I don't think that's the way you want to do it.
Okay.
Unless that guy's Tom Cruise. I just don't think any of these actors are really worth building a new Bond franchise around. Like,
well, neither was Daniel. You wouldn't have picked Daniel Craig out of a lineup.
You're absolutely right. He was a surprise pick, and he did. I had my doubts about him, and he proved me wrong.
He was great. So this is Richard Madden or Henry Cavill. They come with two. I think with Madden, he doesn't have that charisma to be Bond as we saw in Eternals. And Henry Cavill, I think, is just rounding the corner of being too old and
he doesn't need it.
Be involved in other projects.
Yeah. Sam Heughan is interesting.
Sam Hewitt?
Hugh.
Hugh. Oh, okay.
Star.
Oh, what about this guy from Bridgerton? Regine Page.
Maybe, I don't know. I got to see him in the Russo brothers movie
Okay.
to see, because I didn't see his work on Bridgerton. I've only seen him on SNL really. So
Right,
I got to see him act in this Gosling Evans movie and figure out whether he's just a flavor of the month or what.
Okay. All right.
Let's talk about my girl Cameron.
All right, go ahead.
She's unretiring. Thank God. Love Cameron Diaz. Yes, no one,
It's like Jessica Alba's unretiring.
no one raised her tank top to the rafters, but
yeah.
She's doing some movie. I think it's called Back in Action with Jamie Foxx. They used to, they worked together on Annie and Any Given Sunday. I never really understood her retirement or why she went away. Maybe it was just like, I'm sick of like competing with these 20-something actresses for roles or whatever. Now she's aged a little bit. She's in another phase of her career. And I'm glad she's getting back in the saddle because she is a true movie star.
Yes.
No?
I like Cameron Diaz. I've always liked Cameron Diaz. She's a sweetheart of a person. I think she wanted to just have kids, and she wanted to try this idea of being a mom for a while. And now this project has presented itself. But I'm sure, brother, that there have been quite a few people who have reached out to her with separate projects and what have you. But I got to tell you something, because sometimes we do like to be controversial here on the damn show, or at least I do. I don't know if Jeff does. Jeff's not really known for controversy, or is he? But this, I got to talk to you about this schmaltzy shit here. Do we?
Oh, yeah, no, so lame.
I'm so anxious right now.
I mean, this is a phone call that supposedly happened between Cameron Diaz and Jamie Foxx that he, quote, recorded and is okay if he posted it.
Can I click him in?
And apparently he clicks in Tom Brady to help Cameron Diaz unretire. This is cheeseball beyond cheeseball amongst the out-of-touch celebrities. And I absolutely thought it was just unnecessary to put this up. But maybe I'm a cynical son of a bitch, but I just think it was so cheeseball, man. And it reeks of older celebrities hanging out thinking this is going to be cool and funny and the kids are going to dig it. And it absolutely comes off as self-serving and akin to the Imagine video, in my opinion.
I was just going to say,
Right?
This is from the makers of the Imagine video.
Yeah.
This is publicists overthinking it. Okay, and being like, oh no, Cameron's coming out of retirement. We got to make a splash. Like, what can we do to make this special? Let's have a taped phone call and bring in another celebrity, and then we'll put it on. It's just so stupid. You're right. It feels so forced.
Right.
Don't do this.
It's so ridiculous. And Tom Brady, I mean, Cameron Diaz, I mean, does she know Tom? I mean, like, is she a Patriots fan? Is she well known? Has she been to the games, Jeff, that she would know Tom Brady?
Is it because he's back in action this season?
Yeah.
I didn't really see the connection. They made a football movie together, and he liked it.
Oh, God. Ugh, that movie.
I love Any Given Sunday.
You're an insane person. That movie. So that is Oliver Stone with all the chains off of him, and it's horrible. Absolutely horrible.
You're so wrong. Great.
The uniforms are terrible. The names for the teams are fucking terrible.
Yeah, those are bad.
There's only one good scene in Cameron Diaz can't do drama to save her life in that movie. There's only one good scene in that movie, and that's Al Pacino's speech. That's it. That's the only good scene in the movie. We claw with our fingernails. That's a life.
You're so wrong. Everything LP does in that movie is amazing.
Come on.
Everything with like James Woods.
Oh, give me a break.
Dennis Quaid.
The Dennis Quaid stuff I do like. I don't, and I think this is Jamie still figuring out how to be a good actor. So I don't even like him in this movie fully. So, and Lawrence Taylor didn't either. So, Lawrence Taylor. But yeah, this is just my own personal opinion on it, and I think
I'm excited to see Cameron back in it.
I am too. Look, the cheesiness aside of that phone call, I'm glad she's back. I've kind of missed her, to be honest with you. And do you have a favorite Cameron Diaz movie or some movies?
She's amazing, and There's Something About Mary.
Yes.
Yeah, she's good in The Mask. She's good.
Is there an unrecognized performance of hers that people should go back and like Vanilla Sky? Did you like her in Vanilla Sky?
Yeah, I thought she was actually really good in Vanilla Sky. Okay, I got to bring up her thing.
Yeah. Sex Tape. Did you love her? Oh, Annie was the last thing she did, right? Wasn't that with Fox as well?
Bad Teacher, right? Yeah, no, yes.
That's not it. I don't think Jamie Foxx is the one to bring you out of retirement if every film you've done with him is not good. I don't think that's the one you want to bring you out of retirement.
Yeah, but it's a Netflix movie. He was in Project Power. That got decent numbers. He's got another vampire movie coming out with them. So, Jamie Foxx, like Kevin Hart, is becoming a Netflix commodity.
I saw some people defending Night and Day when the Tom Cruise Top Gun Maverick thing was happening.
Night and Day is fun.
Okay. All
right. I've got it here.
Go ahead.
Let me see. Something unheralded. Oof, these are some rough movies. I didn't like The Counselor. Didn't like Gambit. Oh God. The Holiday is fun.
The Holiday, that's very well revered by a lot of people. A lot of women. I know that.
Oh, I know. I have my pick. By the way, she's very good in Being John Malkovich.
Yes, she is damn good at Being John Malkovich.
She's great in My Best Friend's Wedding.
Yes.
But the movie, which she isn't great in, but it is definitely the answer to this question, is Very, Very Bad Things.
Yes.
I love Very Bad Things.
Y'all, do yourself a fucking favor and see Very Bad Things. One of the greatest dark comedies ever made at the perfect time when all those actors were kind of going to each other's auditions, and they brought together a great ensemble that is a blast to watch, an absolute blast. And she is utterly insane in the film. Some of the stuff they put her through, for sure. I would even throw in Feeling Minnesota, which I think gets a little bit of a bad rap. I think her and Reeves had some nice chemistry in that movie. So I would throw that out there.
Who's the boss, John?
Who's the boss? Let's talk about this. In my never-ending efforts to get Jeff to download the Freevee TV app, now they have issued.
Now they've given me a reason.
They finally found Jeff's soft spot, and that is the 1980s, late 80s, early 90s sitcom called Who's the Boss, with Tony Danza, Judith Light, and Alyssa Milano, and Danny Pintaro, and the late great Catherine Hellman.
Yeah, and Mona.
And Mona.
Mona, I'm out.
I forget who the comic was that was just like they made the names easy for Tony Danza because he wasn't that smart, and they ended it in the same vowel. Angela, Mona.
What was his last
Samantha.
name?
I forget the
last name on the show. Do you know?
The name of the show?
No,
they haven't said.
No. His last name on the show, Tony.
Oh my God, I don't remember. What is his last name on the show?
I don't know. I'm confusing it with Jesse on Full House. I feel like.
Yeah, no, but they're essentially following the same path as Full House and One Day at a Time, and they've
Tony Michelli.
Yeah. So this is apparently happening here on the Amazon Freevee app. It's being executive produced by my man Norman Lear, who is still alive at 90-something years old. It's going to be a showrun or co-show run by Mike Royce and co-executive producer Bridget Munoz Leibowitz, who also did One Day at a Time, which a lot of people would argue that reimagining for those 3 seasons was actually damn good, just couldn't quite get the audience numbers to keep it going as a series on Netflix, according to Netflix. But apparently Danza and Milano are reprising their roles as Tony and Samantha Michelli. It's set 30 years after the original series. It'll focus on Major League Baseball player, retired housekeeper, Tony Michelli, and his daughter, Samantha, who is now a single mom, who has moved back into the house. There's no word yet on if Judith Light's coming back or Danny Pintaro are coming into this one. But just to let you know, this one drew more than 30 million viewers in its heyday on ABC, running from 84 to 1992. I was one of those. I watched almost every season. So talk to me, man. I mean,
I'm in. I love Tony Danza. I would watch this show, especially for Freevee.
All right. Will you finally download the Freevee app?
Yes, Tony Danza will be the one who gets me back to download Freevee. Sure, him and Alyssa.
But does this make sense to you to bring this back? I mean, is this progressive enough? I mean, who's the boss? Or Fuller House?
No, it does make sense. Do you see the crap that's on television these days and some of the network shows? Like, forget like what they're about. You're just like, who are these people? I don't even know who are these people being paid millions of dollars to star in these shows. Who is watching them? Tony Danza. Tony Danza's star is certainly faded, but
sure,
he's still Tony fucking Danza.
Yeah.
Like, I bet my dad would watch that show if they put that on ABC. So, I think that this will probably do record-breaking numbers for Freevee when it premieres.
Yeah. Let me put something out there to you guys. I was reading a really great article in the Ringer a couple of days ago because I was like, it talked about the ascension of the older male actor again, like people like Jeff Bridges and the Old Man, Mel Gibson, Liam Neeson, all these people.
Costner is in Yellowstone. Stallone has Tulsa King coming up.
Yeah, I was talking about this, and the thing that stood out to me, and I'm glad we could talk about this, Jeff, because I thought of you immediately, is they're seeing numbers. The most important demographic, or second most important demographic to the 18 to 35, according to their numbers, is the 50 to 69-year-olds. They are watching this shit. They are going to the theaters to see this stuff. So you're going to start to see more, or you've already been seeing more of this content now, but it's coming with more frequency. This content here to appeal to people like your dad, like if my dad was still alive, my dad, but what both of us, well, me getting closer than you, are venturing into that block of time where we're seeing these guys coming back. So this makes sense. Tony Danza was always a damn good actor. He just couldn't quite find the post who's the boss kind
he's
of.
Great in Don John, as Gordon Levitt said.
Oh my God, he's great in Don John. You're absolutely right. Yeah. And he's tried to be like, there was that Family Law series he tried to be. He was a recurring character on The Practice. He did.
Yeah, and listen, you could reboot this show with another Italian American actor or whatever.
Sure.
And maybe it winds up good. Like, I've heard very good things about the Wonder Years.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't watch the Wonder Years reboot because at the end of the day, to me, it wasn't the Wonder Years.
Right.
So, that's why I think it's smart to go back to the original cast, keep these two around.
Right. I think it's good too. And I don't think you need Judith Light. And look, Judith Light's doing fine. She's been booking a lot of things. She's going to be in that Menu movie, whatever it is coming out there with Ray Fiennes and Anya Taylor-Joy. So she's fine. She's been doing great stage work, TV work. She doesn't need to be on this. Yeah. So if she's a recurring character that occasionally shows up, I think that's a good thing.
Cameo episode. One episode.
Yeah.
Big guest star push.
Yeah. Yeah. Finally.
All right. What else is on the list?
Let's see. Let's talk about. We did talk about Elvis already, but shall we talk about this idea of Australia becoming a TV series?
Yeah, sure.
Really
quick. I just I never saw Australia, which is Baz Luhrmann's movie with Nicole Kidman and Hugh Jackman. I really had no idea what the hell it's about. I couldn't tell you today what is Australia about. I think it involves like a cattle herder or something. But other than Australia, I don't know what the movie's about. Never saw it. Now Buzz says, "Oh, I want to recut it as a 6-hour series for like Hulu." Is it?
Yeah.
Hulu. Hulu loves Nicole Kidman. 9 Perfect Strangers and whatnot.
Right.
And I would watch it because I never saw the movie. If I saw the movie and was disappointed by it, I'd probably be like, "Oh, this. Who cares about this announcement? I'm not watching the 6-hour version of a boring 2-hour movie." But because I never gave that a chance, like, okay, I'll check this out.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, I've never seen the movie either. No, sorry, I saw the movie, but never liked it either. And I just thought it was weird, a weird movie that was shot like some kind of commercial for Hugh Jackman's body and Nicole Kidman's body.
Is it it's like a romance between them?
Yeah, it's a romance between them. She inherits this land from her husband who's died, and these cattle ranch barons want to take it over. But she falls in with this guy who's kind of a rugged ranch hand. That's who Hugh Jackman plays. And he helps her fight off the cattle barons with this half indigenous, half white child, I think. And it explores what happens to the indigenous people there in Australia, what happened to them in Australia. So it explores the kind of history of Australia and the unsavory stuff that had happened in the past. So maybe a 6-hour film or 6-hour series that kind of fleshes this out, I'm down for. I mean, there was rumors that Zack Snyder's Justice League was going to be 4 1-hour episodes. So why not try it out in this format? And if there's going to be a 4-hour cut of Elvis, why not just do that? Could this be, Jeff, you were like a pissed off guy about the Zack Snyder Justice League because you were like, why the fans shouldn't demand things and the studios give in to them. Well, is this a way around your anger a little bit that they're on a streaming service and then go episode per episode and in a way kind of cut up their movie like that?
I think these are two very different situations. I don't think that there's any fan base clamoring for a new version of Australia or anything. I think it's, maybe Baz just being proud of the movie and feeling like it never got its due. And so how can we get it back out there in a different way that people may give it another shot? I don't know. Just in thinking about this all, like if this is a romance and Romeo and Juliet is, the greatest romance and Moulin Rouge is his masterpiece, that's a romance. Even Great Gatsby is a romance of sorts. Like, weird that in Elvis, the romance just falls so flat.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I think so.
Yeah. We don't have enough time with it. I think that was his way of skirting around the fact that she was 14 when they first met, then eventually 16 when they met each other again. So maybe he didn't want to spend too much time lingering on that for fear of the criticism of it and all the grooming stuff and all, which did not happen with Priscilla.
The other thing about this is just, this is cheap content, I would imagine, for Hulu. They just got to basically license the movie and they don't have to hire an entire crew. They're not reshooting anything. He just is going into the editing room and recutting it. So everyone's desperate for content. This is cheap content with stars. The other thing is, things get announced and sometimes it may never happen. Who even knows if this ultimately comes to fruition or if Baz gets bored halfway through it. I don't know.
I like this question. Does do Kidman and Jackman get paid for this? That's actually an interesting question. What's the contracts? How does that work with streaming?
That is a good question. You would think that they do.
Yeah.
I would think that they do if it's a new piece of content.
Yeah. You don't want a Scarlett Johansson situation at all.
I just feel like even with the Snyder cut, I think people get paid.
Yeah, I think so too. We got a lot of Streamlabs, Jeff. We got to get to here. I know we have 14, 15 minutes left in the show. Maybe you can hang out a little bit longer. We shall see. Travis Earl donated. Thank you, Travis. Very kind of you. He said, Aaron Smith in here saying, first time donating. Huge fan of the show. Love you both. Just wondering if Jeff has any idea of what to expect from these Stranger Things spin-off shows. Not the finale, the spin-off shows. Do you have any news on that, Jeff?
Ban King's Portical from this chat. King's Sport Cal, don't comment here again. I'll have you banned.
Calvin, cut it the fuck out. Stop making any jokes.
You're done. Spin-off of Stranger Things. What do I think it could be? No, I haven't heard anything. Okay.
What do you think it'll be?
I think they should do something around Priya Ferguson.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
I think she's a talented little girl.
Go younger again, just like you did at the beginning. Just reboot essentially and go with a whole new younger crowd. And another city.
Sure has her own friends, or they can give her, a crew of friends and maybe a little bit more diverse group of friends. It could be set in the early 90s. They could have some fun with that.
I agree with that.
Spin-off wise, what would you do?
I don't know yet until I see the finale, bro. I got to wait and see the 2 episodes and see what happens at the end. There's a lot of rumors. People are saying certain people are going to die. So I got to wait for it because right now I want Steve and Nancy to spin off into something. That could be a lot of fun. Maya Hawke's character.
Maya Hawke, I think, is a better candidate. Yeah. Nancy, get rid of her.
All right, fine. Maya Hawke, I like.
Get rid of her.
All right, I am Two Fly Cam says, love the show. Hope you guys keep it at this time slot. Well, we usually do. It just last week we had to adjust because Jeff's on the East Coast. Question, is Star Wars doomed to TV forever? Taika said he's not even sure if a Star Wars movie is really happening or not.
It does seem like that.
It's supposed to release in 2023. Why is Star Wars struggling to produce a film? Yeah, Taika, in the interview, he said, to be fair, he said, I'm still writing it. And just because I finish it doesn't mean they're going to do it when I submit it. So
did he say he's writing it, or did he say I'm still struggling to come up with an idea or figure out what it's about?
I thought he was clear about what it's about. It's not going to be about Skywalkers or anything to do with their storyline. It's going to be completely different new characters in a different timeline. I thought he said he was just working on it still.
It just seems to me like when Kathy Kennedy is coming out saying our next movie is going to be Taika's movie, and then Taika's like, yeah, I don't really have anything yet. Like, that's not a good sign.
Yeah, here's it was in the New York Times. This is what he said in an interview. I'm trying to write the Star Wars idea at the moment. I've got to see how that goes because once I submit it, that might determine when it gets made or if it gets made even. So this could have been an innocuous throwaway comment, or it could kind of be saying something about their approach that they're not in any rush to do a Star Wars film, which is no surprise.
I mean, Taika has also gone down the line with a lot of properties and then changed his mind and left. So,
yeah. NBA news just broke, Jeff. I don't know if you're seeing this. Kevin Durant has requested a trade from the Brooklyn Nets. This is massive because now Kyrie said he was opting in. Now Kevin is leaving what he tried to bring everybody to. Now he's requested a trade, which is insane. Bradley Beal signing for $251 million back in my Wizards. I don't know why.
Bunch of overpaid babies these days.
Yeah, and
I need to play with my friends. That's the league that we're in. That's the whole day and age that where no one wants to compete against each other. They all want to team up and do super teams and get paid $50 million a season for it.
Where is he going to? Who has the assets to trade for Kevin Durant? Who has the assets?
Like Phoenix or Miami, right? Those are the teams you wanted.
Oh,
I'm just like Devin Booker is worth $53.5 million these days. That's probably like more money than Charles Barkley made in his entire career. I mean, I know Barkley harps on this. Like, I can't imagine what he would say about today's salaries.
Well, you're paid what the market can bear. That's the welcome to capitalism. That's how it works.
It's ridiculous.
All right, we got more here that came through. A Twin Paradox says, do either of you watch Umbrella Academy? Yes, I do, but I haven't watched the new season. In a saturated comic adaptation space, it's consistently unique and high quality and seems to not get talked about enough. Also, shout out to Netflix for changing Elliot Page's name in the previous season's credits. Yeah, absolutely. Do you watch it, Jeff?
No.
Okay. I do. I love it. I'm waiting for this weekend. So my girlfriend and I have some time to sit down and watch it because she loves Umbrella Academy.
That's what you're going to watch this weekend instead of Stranger Things?
Oh, no. Well, sure. That comes out tonight, son. I'm already watching that tonight or tomorrow. Are you kidding? I'm not waiting on that.
I guess I'm East Coast, so it won't hit until like 3 a.m.
I don't know. I think it's I think it hits for you guys at 12 and it hits for us at 12. I think they've made it that way. That's how Marvel does it, I think.
No, there's no way people on the East Coast are getting a show 3 hours before you.
I don't know. Brian, it doesn't happen. It happens in wrestling. Brian Nava says, very minor story entertainment-wise, if at all, but I know both of you are screen print collectors. How do you feel about Funko acquiring Mondo from Alamo Drafthouse? The Hot Mic is my go-to live show each week. Thank you.
I put that on the list last week, guys, and Roga said, who cares?
I was wrong, clearly. So, Jeff, go ahead. You're a Mondo buyer of their products?
So actually, Mondo to me has been going down. I just don't like the movies that they've been licensing.
Okay.
I can't really think of the last time I bought something from Mondo specific. I like Mondo's style. I like a lot of the artists that he uses, but yeah, a lot of the Mondo stuff for me lately has not been for me. But I'm not a Funko guy either. Mm-hmm. Funko does seem like it has a very good like operation, good marketing team and everything. Like I like the Mondo brand. I hope that, maybe with this, they'll get their hands on some better licenses and start making posters that I want to buy again. If I got to sell a bunch of my collection, I'm going to do it soon, guys, because I just moved apartments recently and dug all my stuff out of storage. But I love collecting posters. Mondo obviously does some great ones. I don't know how the Funko deal will change anything, but we'll see.
You give me 50% off that Heat poster, I'll take it off your hands.
That's like the only one that's not for sale.
You son of a bitch. All right, let's see. We got more here that came through. Adam Jimenez says, hey guys, I personally like that Barbara Broccoli is well aware that Bond has core essential traits because Bond is the only franchise that can take the luxury of not catering to the actor that's playing him since it's been in the zeitgeist for 60 years. Yeah. Do you agree with that?
Yes. I mean, I think Bond is Bond and people have been flocking to Bond for as long as they have, for a reason or reasons. And I get that you have to change those because the world has changed a little bit, but I also wouldn't change everything. I think that you do need to hang on to some of those core traits or whatever. And I think, they need to identify which ones they want to hang on to and which ones they want to update.
Yeah, I think some people like to have a place they can go and escape and have some kind of fantasy with Bond, being a good looking guy who does the things that he does, sleeps with some beautiful women, goes in. There's nothing, between two consensual adults, what's the fucking problem? Like, I don't understand the problem. When did womanizing become a negative necessary as long as you both people understand what the situation is.
Right.
I
A
don't think it's
a woman can do it because to criticize a woman, it's slut shaming. But if a guy does it, he's a womanizer.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, that's the thing at the end of the day. If both people understand what the situation is, I think there's nothing wrong with that. And showing that in a movie, I think there's nothing wrong with that either. So we got to find the nuance here, ladies and gentlemen. It can't just be black and white. Adam Jimenez also says, hey, John, did you see Hacks? Yes, I would have been fine if it just ended after season 2. The finale was so good. And I can't wait for John Travolta to have a show of his own, too. I would love to see him in some show nowadays. Keep it real.
I would love to have Travolta have a show. And I liked him in that Kevin Hart Quibi show, by the way.
Oh, okay. All right.
By the way, all those Quibi shows are probably going to get like repackaged and resold somewhere soon.
Oh, maybe. That's
like because you can't find those anywhere. Maybe they're on the Roku channel. I don't have Roku.
Do we have a welcome back Barbarino? Are we welcome back Vinny? Is that what he's saying? Could he come back as the teacher back in Hoboken teaching this new version of the Sweat Hogs?
But what Travolta could have the old man.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah. Like if I would be working on that. Like if I was like Stars.
Yeah,
Stars, I'd be looking at John Travolta hard for some type of show like that.
Yeah, because I mean, he clearly doesn't have an issue doing those action films. He's done a few of them, even the cheesy ones that go straight to DVD or streaming. He has done them. So why not create one that actually has a little more heft to it, like the old man does?
Just imagine, like, I mean, the whole Power franchise does very well for Stars. If you could get like Travolta in there with like 50 Cent or something, you could introduce him to a whole new generation.
I agree. One last one here. Doug Developer says, hey, guys, so I was watching The Boys last week, and during that awesome fight scene, I couldn't help but think that Carl Urban would be perfect if the MCU rebooted Wolverine. What say you guys? I'll say this. I love Carl. He's a great fucking actor. Too old to play Wolverine. Maybe he can play Wolverine for a movie or two, but they're looking at younger actors because they want to get as many movies out of them as they got out of Hugh Jackman. So I don't think in any way, shape, or form they're looking at an older actor like Carl Urban, and older being in his late 30s, 40s, whatever, for this role. That's my 2 cents. What do you think?
What was the question? I blanked.
Carl Urban for Wolverine. Yes.
Carl Urban, I would like it, but I agree that they probably are going to go younger.
He's 50, by the way. 50.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean he's very close to Hugh Jackman. I think he would he could step in without missing a beat, but it wouldn't be his own. They need to like just do something totally different. I think with Wolverine, and to me, from what I understand, I don't read the comics. Wolverine is a little dude.
Yes, he is.
He's a little
guy.
Who just acts like a fucking maniac. Which is why, before the Batman and being cast as, the Joker or before Eternals, I thought Barry Keoghan would make a really good Wolverine.
Oh, interesting.
And I think, what's his name? Having looked at Taron Egerton in that new Apple series, I think he's absolutely gigantic on the show.
I got to see that Blackbird. They had a premiere the other night.
If he's not using steroids, then whoever his trainer is is like incredible. But he looks gigantic on this show, and I feel like it's in training for something.
Yeah. No. Danny DeVito cannot be the new one.
Yes, I watched Hustle. Hustle, thumbs up, John?
Yeah. Thumbs up, big time. I finally got to watch that this week. I forgot to text Jeff about it. I really enjoyed the hell out of some good Adam Sandler work in that movie.
He just got waived today, Bo Cruz. You see that?
That's a shame.
Utah waived Juancho.
It's a shame. Lewis Barry says, Stranger Things Season 4, Volume 2, Death's Final Predictions, Enzo, Eddie, Owen, Vecna, and Steve. Do you agree with any of these, John?
I think Eddie's a gunner.
Yeah?
Can't say how, but I think Eddie's a gunner.
I think Steve's gone. I think Steve is absolutely, possibly gone. As I'm put that out there. Gillette says, the Butler story is BS. Yes, some people are saying that it didn't. His representatives are saying it did not happen in Tokyo with Ezra Miller. There was no fight there. So
I really like that story. Then let me have that one, guys.
Lewis Barry saying Elvis is awesome. Austin and Tom deserve the Oscar nomination. We had two of the things we wanted to talk about, Jeff, but can you hang on for a few more minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. Big thing, Bob Chapek getting re-upped. We've talked about it on the show. Both of us felt he wasn't going to get re-upped. He did get re-upped, and ironically re-upped like a day before Pride Month ends. he was re-upped here, even with all the drama and all the issues. So do you think this is just a purely money decision, or do you think that he actually is running the studio a lot better than people think, and he's just got into some PR issues?
I mean, what does re-upped even mean these days? Okay,
years.
so they gave him 3 years. You think he's going to be in the job for 3 years? I 100% guarantee you he is not there on the last day of that 3-year contract. 100%.
Okay.
Look, I mean, these contracts always precede, like, you get a big deal and then they let you go.
Right.
Like Peter Rice was 10 months into his contract. He got let go. Like, these contracts don't mean anything. It doesn't mean that you're in that job for that long. It just means that we're going to have to pay you like you were in that job for that long. So they could still get rid of Chapek tomorrow and then just give him his 3 years of salary and say, you know, we're moving on. This is like all for PR. You can't let the CEO of Disney operate without a deal.
True.
That is that's like a huge vulnerability, a sign of weakness. You had to lock him down as a show of, this is our guy.
Solidarity.
It would be a huge mistake from the board if they were to install this guy for 10 or 11 months. It'd be it'd reflect poorly on Bob Iger, who helped choose his predecessor and perhaps knew that this guy is gonna go over like a ton of bricks.
Yeah, maybe in a way, kind of purposely doing this so they could welcome him back with open arms and pay him even more money, possibly down the road. But he's extended for 3 extra years, which goes into effect on July 1st. He's granted long-term annual stock awards of at least $20 million, and his base salary of $2.5 million, though, is unchanged according to the contract details here. So, Susan Arnold speaking about how much they support him. Bob Chapek saying how much he's honored to be entertaining millions. So, I mean, he's a 30-year veteran, too. So, I mean, he knows where all the bodies are buried, so to speak. So that might have a part of this as well. So
they couldn't leave him, flagging in the wind there.
Mm-hmm.
They had to do something.
Other big story, CAA buying ACM. The first time we've seen this since William Morris bought Endeavor. Jeff, this is massive. 105 people apparently getting laid off in the back end here. Some agents have already left. This has been a 9-month process. What does this do? Did they just basically scoop up the best of ICM, toss the rest out, and now they're going to make even more money?
Yeah, they put a rival, even though it wasn't much of a rival, they put a rival out of business. They took the best agents that the rival had to offer, the best clients. They're going to get rid of all the fat. You're going to see, even like mid-level people at CAA may feel the pinch because now it's like, who are they? Fucking NYU calling. Anytime NYU calls, it's to ask me for money. Okay? Of
course.
We gave you enough money, NYU. It didn't get me much. Didn't get me too far. I'm here hosting a hot mic with John Rocha.
You know what? Fuck you, man. I didn't make you do all those tweets. Go ahead. Yeah.
Do all those tweets, yes. If only they taught me how to use social media. I don't know
That
yet.
should definitely be a class nowadays.
I think that
Do you see any big losses for CAA? Do you see any agents or any actors leaving CAA or ICM because of this situation, or are they now excited to have also CAA?
Yeah, you went a lot of clients went from being ICM clients to being CAA clients, which has a better ring to it. But at the same time, some of those people were at Samuel L. Jackson could have been at CAA if he wanted to.
True.
He wanted to be at ICM to work with his, the agent that he prefers, and because he's a bigger fish in a smaller pond there, right? He's, now, he may be the fourth or fifth, older black male who they submit.
Yeah.
As opposed to being ICM's first and only older black male who they submit for every job. So it all, I don't know, it all sort of depends. But, CAA certainly picked up a lot of good, talented agents with good lists.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people have been moving into the manager ranks. I mean, that's been a real trend with everything. But you're seeing partners and people like that getting a lot younger. At agencies.
Yeah, it's incredible. Seeing the numbers in their 30s, early 30s. I mean, it's mind blowing. Something that was lauded in the past as unique is now kind of standard in the business lately. So it's kind of crazy. Looseberry also asks, WB have almost a year in the money. Reshoot Aquaman 2 in the Flash with Deborah Ann Woll as Mara and Timothy Chalamet as Barry on the Flash. It's not that simple. It's not that simple.
They have the money, John, but they have the money.
Yeah,
John,
that's
they have the money.
ridiculous. That's ridiculous. It's not like they're just sitting there like Scrooge McDuck in a vault of money. All their money, like George Bailey said in It's a Wonderful Life, you don't understand. Your money is in Bob's house and your money is in Cheryl's house. That's how it works there with the studios. They've got a million projects that they're doing. That budget is being allowed for to do. This is a $200 million project. And you're going to tell me they're going to work out all the schedules for Keaton and Affleck and all these people? They're going to have to pay through the nose to get them to come back.
Don't even entertain questions like this. Lewis, come on.
It's $5. I got to entertain it for $5.
But Lewis, you've been watching the show for how long? How many times do we have to say, this isn't what's happening? This isn't going to happen. This isn't happening.
Lewis also says if they nail Volume 2, this is the best season yet of Stranger Things. I would agree with you. I would agree with you. That you could make a case. I wouldn't say it is. I say you can make a case if they nail it. Because season 1 is still my favorite, and we'll see if they nail it. So, one last thing. Do we have any more of these? No, I think we got to everything. Oh, and Louis Barry also said Elvis is awesome. Austin and Tom deserve an Oscar nom. I agree with that 100%. CAA we talked about. Oh, the CineramaDome. Is that something positive? The CineramaDome is returning here, Jeff, in LA with a new name. Plans for 2 bars and a restaurant. This is happening. This is going to happen here in Hollywood. Are you excited about this? To hear that the ArcLight might be coming, even though it's going to come back in a new name, are you excited about this?
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I never loved the CineramaDome. I didn't love the screen, the curved screen or anything.
What?
You like the curved screen?
I love this curved screen. Yes.
No. Not like my favorite place. I'm excited about it. I'm glad that there's another big screen opening in Hollywood, particularly since I just moved there. But they showed you like what's going to be on that menu. The menu, it was like nothing that I would eat. Everything was $18 to $38. That's what it says. Entrees are going to be there.
Yeah.
It's just like, what is this experience? Are they just trying to cater to like rich Hollywood douchebags and celebrities?
It sounds like yeah.
It does sound like that, and that's just not how I envision movie theaters. But
it's they're going to offer chips and caviar, Parker House rolls, which I don't know what Parker House rolls are, vegetable tartatin, oysters, and octopus, and that's the mezzanine restaurant and the lobby level restaurant.
Someone during Elvis,
lobby level restaurant will offer wild prawns with yuzu koshu butter, pickled carrot, pecorino sardo with raw honey and fennel pollen, and whipped ricotta tartine.
Is this what the surveys are showing out there that people want? What happened with fucking to popcorn? Like,
oh, there's gonna be popcorn, but it's gold. It's gold laced popcorn that you're gonna have.
I'm telling you, it's like they pulled the Soho House membership as to what they want at this place.
Louis Barry, you're wrong. Eric Stoltz did not replace Michael Fox in Back to the Future with majority done. No, it was only 2 weeks of shooting. They had only shot 2 weeks. Just like with Apocalypse Now, they replaced Harvey Keitel with Martin Sheen. It was only a week and a half of shooting. So, no, that's not what happened. They were not mostly done with it at all. Lewis, come on, man. You're killing it. I love the money, but goddamn it, get on board. Sink and Bauer deserve Emmy nominations for Volume 1. I think Sink does, and I think Harbor does for sure.
Yeah, I can get behind a Sadie Sink nomination. I do think she was really good.
She is good. She's going to be a good one, man. She's going to be a good one once she gets out of this thing and does some more stuff.
She's going to be good in The Whale, the Aronofsky movie soon.
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right, let's get wrap it up there. We're going to let Jeff go, and I got to get ready for my Star Wars show that I'm pre-shooting. Y'all take care of yourselves. Be well. Thanks so much for watching us here on the Hot Mic. Jeff, another fun one. Please let people know where they can find you and read all your stuff, my man.
The Insider on Twitter, BTLnews.com, LAMag.com. I ranked the 9 hottest streaming movies this month. All the movies you can see.
Is there number 1, or do you want to wait till they read it?
Number 1 was Cha Cha Real Smooth, and the bottom of the list was Spiderhead. So you can find out everything in between.
Where are we going with Dakota Johnson, Jeff? Are we going to Oscarland with Dakota Johnson, or where are we going?
Eventually, but for now we're going to Madam Web and Spider-Man. Okay. And yeah, the Ankler, and I do have a big thing about Sony coming out on the Ankler soon, so stay tuned.
There you go. All right. As for me, you can follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. The Outlaw Nation on Twitch, don't forget. And my other podcast, The Top 10, The Cinephiles, The Geek Buddies, all out there for you all to enjoy. And speaking of the Geek Buddies, we will be doing a special Q&A episode that we will be dropping tomorrow for you all to watch. And then we will do our Ms. Marvel episode 4 spoiler review this weekend. Don't forget. And don't forget the John and Wendy show live tomorrow on Twitch at 3 p.m. PT. Louis Berry finally says, W will lose more money if they don't replace Miller and Hurd. Eric was 5 weeks of work in Back to the Future.
They will lose more money. Okay.
That's not true. All right. Yeah. Emma Roberts cast him, Adam Webb. Yeah. It's a very white film, but whatever. Let's get out of here. All right. Y'all take care of yourselves. Be well. We'll talk to you next time with another brand new episode of The Hot Mic. Take care.
Thank you.